But okay, we gotta go to the next topic, I guess, in hand. And it has to be, right? Uh so y'all know about the whole deplatforming situation. What the heck? This is what happens when you try to move one window and it just lags. But y'all know about the whole deplatforming situation, obviously with Andrew Tate, and now it's Sneeko, and how like one of Sneeko's videos was played like, if y'all don't know who Sneeko or Andrew Tate is, red pilled red pilled content creators on the platform of YouTube, or just content creators in general. Sneeko was recently one of the people that got deplatformed, meaning like he got taken off the platform of YouTube in general. He's been on the platform for about, I believe, since he was like 14 years old. So he's been on YouTube longer than a lot of you guys. He's probably been on YouTube longer than a lot of you guys. Look it up, based on an old movie. Oh, I know the Killer Clowns movie. I just never knew there was a game of it. It's Brawny Paper Towels. My bad, Izzy. I was wrong. You were right. But yeah, I wanted to ask you guys, how do you feel about deplatforming, just in general? I guess my take on it so far is that any 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 service or any website that you sign up for, you do agree to their terms and services. Therefore, if they feel like what they don't like they deem as harmful to what they're trying to build, then it's obviously up to them to do whatever they want. And it's not really wrong since we sign up for it. I mean, to be real, does anybody read through the terms and service of agreement? Does anyone read through that? But I know a YouTube content creator I watch called Young Don. He made a video about what the Sneeko ban taught me, and I saw another content creator come in my recommended saying YouTube should ban this guy who he was talking about. YouTube should ban Sneeko. So I thought that was very it was very ironic that someone made a video about him who made a video about banning Sneeko. So I wanted to see if you're not following the rules you agree to, then that's on you. Yeah, I can't go against that logic when you just frame it like that. But we all go against the rules in some type of form. Don't look at me like you don't. Don't look at me like you don't. But yeah, let's go ahead and check it out.
In my last video, I gave my initial thoughts after learning that Sneeko had been completely banned from the platform. We talked about the fact that it was a clear example of the biased nature of the decision makers on this platform. And though they may have had genuine and legitimate concerns about the things that Sneeko was saying and doing, which they're entitled to having, YouTube is littered with all kinds of people saying and doing all kinds of things that can be interpreted as dangerous to society or to youth. And ultimately, what you believe is dangerous versus what isn't is based on your worldview. If your worldview is like mine and grounded in the belief that God is real and the Bible is true, then you're going to look at certain content creators as disseminators of dangerous and evil ideas. On the other hand, if your worldview is based in the more common foundation of the way I feel is a reliable means for discerning what is true, then if my Bible says something that conflicts with the way you feel, then I'm the one that's spreading evil. And even though
How y'all feel about that? How y'all feel about that? Chase dad even say what Sneeko broke. Chase didn't even say what Sneeko broke or what kind of content he makes. He makes, generally it's called red pill content, but as he was deeming it, I think he wasn't really trying to be in the red pill community, because generally when people think about the red pill community, think about dating and women and how to maneuver the world, when really it's way more than that. I just think the few content creators who have gotten really big off of red pill content mostly kind of theme their content on that, even though it's not most of what they talk about, it's just mostly what gets popular on the content that they make. But it didn't say specifically what he did, but we could go into a video of what he did, because MTR, mediocre tutorials and reviews, they actually talk about it. One of Sneeko's videos was played in the Senate, I think, type stuff. So we could look at that. We could talk about that probably right after this video right here.
I think the argument for why the Bible is a far more reliable source for guidance than our feelings, it doesn't matter, because ultimately we're all entitled to choosing our worldview. So basically, Sneeko chose the wrong worldview, at least in the eyes of the power brokers here at YouTube. Combine that with the many calls for cancellation and deplatforming by several other large, influential content creators, it was the perfect recipe for said power brokers to feel justified in terminating his channel. It was essentially the same thing that happened to Andrew Tate. Now, I don't support everything that Sneeko or Andrew Tate represents or stands for. In fact,
Oh, he's
there are a
spitting.
good amount of things that I strongly disagree with and
He's
are
spitting.
damaging to the minds of young men. Not because of anything feminists say or toxic masculinity, but because they endorsed and promoted lifestyles that will take you further away from coming to know the one true God, the God of the Bible, and encourages you to live in a way that will lead to pain, suffering, death, and then an eternity in hell, which I think is pretty bad. That said, there were a fair amount of things that I absolutely agreed with, even if the rationalizations for how we came to those stances were different. Gender roles are necessary and healthy for a properly functioning society. Women shouldn't be encouraged to sleep around, and doing so oftentimes will decrease their.
Wait, let me go back. Because I was reading the comment.
Were different. Gender roles are necessary and healthy for a properly functioning society. Women shouldn't be encouraged to sleep around, and doing so oftentimes will decrease their attractiveness in the eyes of the kind of men that are best suited for long-term relationships. Men shouldn't be encouraged to have feminine traits, and your sex is determined at conception and based solely in biology. The list goes on and on. And
I know a lot of you guys are gonna disagree. I know a lot of people are about to disagree or have their grievances with that because a lot of things that he's talking about, just in general, a lot of things that he's talking about isn't the mindset that a lot of people have nowadays. Well, a lot of things that he believes in isn't the mindset that people have nowadays. He definitely has went through a recent change. I mean, he's went through a recent change of actually, finding God, reading the Bible, kind of praying, and having these being more in touch with his religion. So I do want to commend him on that. But I know a lot of people, just generally speaking, won't agree with a lot of Don's takes. And I think there's a really conflicting thing of how the Bible sees certain things and how modern society sees things nowadays. Because they obviously conflict. And I'm not saying that anyone's perfect or anyone's following the Bible or whatever religion that they follow 100%, but a lot of the ideals nowadays really conflict with what religion, the rules that are made from religion. So yeah, I like him so far. What's his channel's name? This channel is named Young Don Reborn. This is his reaction channel. But he does his main content that he used to do was animation. That's why you see some of these pop-ins come in through his video because he's an animator. Well, he used to be an animator. He probably still does do animation, but I think he's in a confused space where he doesn't know what he wants to animate or if he wants to continue. But his Young Don Reborn channel is doing really well so far. I will say that Young Don nowadays has an old school mindset, but a lot of this mindset is something that's very strong or very popular for people who came in the generation before us. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Good for him for being in touch with his religion. Problem is he's trying to put others in touch with his religion that don't want it. Oh, no, new commandment: keep thy religion to thy effing self. See, Beta, I don't agree with that, Beta, only because he says it himself all the time. He says my job isn't to put my religion on you or try to convert you. He said my word is to spread it. He says if you convert or not, that's on you. He's like, I'm not trying to force my religion on you. Like a lot of his videos, he does use biblical backing on it at points, but he also gives his own opinion and take on it too, and he gives his previous life experiences. I don't think he's forcing religion on people. I will say that there have been people who've come at him and tried to attack him because he's a very open Christian. I will say that. Like he lets you know that he's a Christian basically. He's very out there with his Christianity. So yeah. Religion is a very touchy topic, unfortunately. I do feel like religion has been much watered down. Has very much been watered down. Lost its true purpose over time. I do agree. And there's just certain things that happen in American society that, personally, from my experience or my views, and he's kind of brought this to my attention that there's certain things that people in America, just in general, like they'll make fun of. But there's like other religions that they won't touch. Like they won't make fun of them at all. Like obviously Christianity is one of them. From what I've seen, there could be others out there. I don't know. Christianity is one of them. Uh, Jewish religion, being Jewish. That's one that's made fun of sometimes or stereotyped as well. I really don't see Muslim stereotyped or joked on. I don't really know any other ones. I mean, if you want to, is being agnostic a religion, or is that just a lifestyle? I never know what to classify that. Is that a religion or just a lifestyle? I don't know. But yeah, deplatforming based on differing views and biases, such BS. I agree, but you agree to the terms and services of the people who make that platform, so therefore they can deem whatever they want in that sense. I will say that. So you get what I'm saying? Like I can't fault them, but also it's like morally, did these people who are getting deplatformed, do they have a fair chance? You get what I'm saying? Um, that was the dumbest ish I've ever heard. But a lot of people meet. Wait, but a lot of people meet right. Dang, where'd that comment go? Fellas, don't trust her if she texts you just hanging out with my mom. Mom stands for my other man. I feel like Sneeko should, but also shouldn't have been banned. He does say some stupid and dumb stuff. I will say that he does say some very outlandish stuff. Some stuff I'm like, all right, I agree with some stuff, but for the general, most from what I've heard of Sneeko, from the little content I have watched of him, he's obviously had some points here and there, but I feel like he was learning as he went, but he was very loud. Like if you think he's pushing something on you, Beta, Sneeko was the one that would make you feel like he's pushing someone on you, calling everybody bots, calling everybody a simulation in the Matrix and all that type of stuff. That kind of got annoying. I mostly didn't like his delivery overall. I didn't like Sneeko's delivery overall. That was my thing with Sneeko because he definitely changed in terms of tone and delivery when he started streaming more rather than him doing his regular videos on his main channel, which is really sad to see his main channel go down because his main channel didn't really have that red pill content or those views and standpoints like it did on his second channel. But this is why I was telling someone like Sam the other day, make sure if you make a channel, put it on two separate Gmails. Do not put it on the same Gmail because if one channel goes down, that other one is guaranteed to go down. So if y'all ever want to make a second channel like me, like my Read the Dark Sage channel, that was made on a second Gmail because I knew one day I could potentially get hacked, and if I got hacked, both of my channels would be gone. I at least wanted one channel to be there, so that's why I Read the Dark Sage and Dark Sage. That's why the Dark Sage, when that went down, Read the Dark Sage was still up. So yeah, the biggest problem I have with religious people is they constantly still speak that ish at people. See, I can't say that, Beta, because what is your definition of a religious person? Like someone that just like is into a religion or like someone that has a god that they pray to, yada yada woo doo woo. I remember someone in one of my YouTube comments that was like, "Oh, you obviously aren't in a religion because you like Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that. People with powers." And I was like, "Wait, what?" He was like, "You obviously don't are in a religion." I'm like, I can't love Jesus and like Dragon Ball Z. That's a crazy take right there. It's crazy. Even when they make it clear they want nothing to do with it. Imagine if as a Christian, every Muslim and Jewish person you may constantly talk about their religion. Oh, Beta, that's the thing though. This is the thing. They did that to him. And this is the thing. If you don't want to see someone's content like that, then don't watch the content. I'm obviously speaking from a standpoint of content creators making this content because we all have a choice of what we want to watch. You get what I'm saying? But y'all should never just choose to watch me. Y'all should want to have to watch me. Give me the view, please. But yeah. Let me see. I gotta still read Beta's part. You met constantly talked about the religion and how it's right and righteous and how those that don't follow it will burn for it. You get pretty annoyed too. Um, I feel like you're talking about the bad sector of people that are religious, Beta. That's a generalization, which I don't like that generalization because you're talking about a minute few. Most of the people I've ran into that believe in Jesus, that believe in God, don't do that. Those are more those over preachy people. You get what I'm saying? But that's a minority of people. Like most of the people, like I said, don't really do that. Oh, what up, Whoopsie Daisy? Shout out for the sub. Yes, ma'am. Hi, hope you're doing good. Been missing the streams lately. Oh, that's all good. As long as you're leveling up in life, that's all that matters to me. But when someone preaches louder, it makes people ignore you harder. Yes, Beta, but I feel like that's a mindset that a lot of us grew up with. Like I have a friend who, I have friends who have been in that same situation where Christianity was forced upon them and now they don't, they really don't believe in anything. You get what I'm saying? So I get it, but nowadays, like, there's so much out there. If you want, I'm not saying you have to believe in something. If you don't want to believe in something, that's all, that's on you. As long as you're a good person, that's all that matters to me. Agnostic is when you don't believe in a religion, but you also don't deny religions exist. See, I thought agnostic means like you believe in a higher power, but you don't subscribe to a certain higher power. That's what I thought that meant. So thank you, Izzy, for informing me and educating me. I highly appreciate that. And that's interesting because people make fun of people who are very upstanding with their religion and attempt to push their beliefs on others, but that's what it means to be a student of it. It's how religion was upheld when it first about. True, but I feel like as the world changed, things change. So people like to change and adapt certain rules to what fits their narrative. I have no doubt I'd hate Sneeko too. Preach people of any variety piss me off. Probably. He has some cool content. He wasn't all the way preachy all the time, Beta, but I will say that there was some, content creators, especially of his regard, kind of make different content, especially when it comes to like streaming. Like, when I stream, we could look at something like this. We could do some gaming. We could do some reactions. Yeah, whoop, whoop, whoop. Like, it's not always this. Basically, kind of like with Sneeko's content like that. But I didn't really seek out Sneeko's content because I already have enough content to watch myself. I rephrase. I dislike hyper religious people. See, thank you, Beta. Thank you. I like that a lot better. It's not that you deny that religion exists. You see it around you. Agnostic is more about, I don't know, leaving open the possibility of a higher power that is as opposed to atheists that closes out that possibility. Okay, I know I knew that, Joseph. I knew that. But thank you for educating me. I don't think religion is the problem. It's how we convey our thoughts and talk to people. We are transitioning through a time where we have to be very aware of what we are saying and how we say it, given it's very, you know what, the next video that I'm actually going to bring up of why Sneeko got banned is going to actually kind of talk about that point. Given it's very prominent in the US because we have massively advanced, but the country is massive, so it's hard to even speak from eye to eye. W Matt. If you think about it from their perspective though, if you genuinely believe that someone's current path will lead them to hell or damnation, wouldn't you try to go convince people you care about not to go down that path? I completely agree with that, Sam. I get the logic behind that. But for some people, and I hate that this is a thing. I hate that it's a thing because I get it because I get the perspective. And me, I can easily just tune things out. Like if you're talking to me, I could easily ignore you while you're talking to me. I wouldn't try to do that, but if I need to, I can. But I feel like nowadays, I get it. I get why. I'm trying to find a way to phrase this. This is why a lot of times when I'm talking and I'm doing like something like this, I'm trying to correctly phrase or articulate what's in my head or what I'm trying to say, so it won't come off as too ignorant. But a lot of times, people's past trauma makes them close that door off from further religious studies. Therefore, they don't even want anything to do with religion. Like someone's probably over preached to them in the past, and they're like, you know what, I don't want to deal with that. And then later on they don't try it again. Which I mean, I don't care what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? I already got my thing, but it closes them off. It makes them close minded to that fact. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, the fanatics are a minority, but they are the loudest. That is true. That is true. America is the only place I've experienced religion being pushed as hard as it is. Makes sense. I do think fanatics are the minority given how much freedom we are allowed with our choices. Sage, tell me why yesterday I was walking my manga, then what? Then started barking to my cat in the ocean. That was, okay, Foster, Jay. Okay. Religion meaning Christianity. I think that's the biggest religion here. Like that's the religion that most people subscribe to in America, right? Like, is there like places where they only have like one, like people can only follow one religion? Are there places like that in the not the country, in the world? Are there places like that? And then the turtle meow tomorrow. Oh, okay. Bleach tomorrow. Rah. Nope, because it's not my business. I ain't a priest or preacher. That's not my job. Felt that way even back when I was a kid serving as an altar boy. Did firmly believe they. See, Beta. See, now I'm not liking what you're saying now. I get it. I'm not trying to force religion on you, but if you can't see that perspective, then I don't think we can have this. I don't think we can have that conversation, Beta. If you can't see that perspective, I'm not saying you have to agree with it, but if you can't see that perspective, then we can't further this conversation because there's no way for us to really conversate if you don't get that one focal point, that one vocal point right there. Like I get Sam's point completely. Like that's not really a crazy point that he made. On YouTube, sure, you could avoid content and it's fine for them to say mostly whatever. However, if you're using religion as a shield to put down trans or gay people slash behavior, which obviously goes against terms of services, then yeah, the platform is pretty justified in shutting you down. So I don't think I've ever seen him put down any people like that. Especially with the red pill community, they don't really talk about like that. They talk about how a man you shouldn't be feminine, but they don't really talk about gay people or trans people like that. Like the only time they talk about trans people or gay people is if they use a certain example of how, like statistically, like how you see more men turning into women than women turning into men. Like they use that type of statistic and how some trans women have came out, men turning to women. Well, born people born as men turning into women, that they've had a quote unquote easier life being a trans woman than actual being a cis man. So like they bring out those points up, but they don't actively put them down. But that's obviously from what I've seen, Joseph. Obviously, I don't know everything. So yeah. Outside of it, honestly feels like the reverse of the statement is actually the case. Uh it's the biggest in the world. Mm. I definitely lean on the side of everyone has their own beliefs. I don't want to push mine on them. I agree, Sam. I agree. I'm the same way. I believe God is capable of moving in anyone's hearts, and it's not my responsibility job to force that to happen. W Sam, man. W Sam. But Christianity is forced down your throat any step of failure. I get it, Cass, as being hyperbolic, but I guess my thing is like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't believe that. I get what you're saying now as an outsider, Cass. I guess I just don't believe that. And I stay in Texas. I stay in the South. People call this one of the most racist, like, they call this a racist state. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I can't really get down with that, but I get why you say that. I see his perspective. I just disagree with it. See, that's different. Okay, Beta. That's different. Because the way you were saying it, it made it feel like you you was like no. Like I'm just like what? Like if you get the perspective, then that's the important part. But to me, that's the most important part. If you get the perspective, because we don't have to agree with everything people say or do, as long as you see why. Some things you ain't gonna be able to find an answer to because some things are just outlandish. But as long as you see why, that's most important to me. Understandably so, but the idea seemed good. It's truly the people who somewhat want this freedom. Put your ideas. How can I make a suggestion if I could? First of all, you got sub and join the Discord. I get what, but also thank you for the follow. I get that you disagree with it. I'm just saying from their perspective, they are generally trying to help you, not for selfish gain. I agree, Sam. I agree. However, there are definitely some loud minority effed up religious people who do it for control/malicious intent. I agree, Sam. I feel like there's some people who have to gain from doing that. Obviously, most of the people that I've ran into growing up, they didn't really have anything to gain from it besides, feeling good. That's about it. But besides that, a lot of these people who do it, especially if they're close to you, they really care. Um, I wouldn't be trying to do that. But a lot of them try to, I get what Beta's going for, as long as Beta gets the perspective. That was my thing. And one pushing their opinions or feelings on others is obnoxious. Well, Beta, I'm sorry to say it, but I'm one of those people because I'm a YouTuber. I I I push my feelings by putting a video out. I get their perspective. I just find their perspective to be ridiculous. Um, Even from a Christian perspective, the Bible has its own passages teaching against this kind of action. Matthew 6:1, beware of practicing righteousness before other people in order to be seen by them. For then you will have no reward from your Father who is in heaven. Wait, okay. Because I hate when people take a certain time. I hate when people take. I'm sorry to Beta because you got to be using the excuses you do it. I hate when people take a certain verse out of context. Like I gotta read the whole book to know what you're talking about. Like because people try to do that with slavery, and I'm just like no. Or people try to use this to prove their point of why Christianity is false. I'm just like no. Like you got to read the whole book to get the understanding. That's like if I gave you a chapter randomly out of Naruto and it was like you'd be like, what is this? Like you know what I'm saying? Oh, or I gave you the Jeffrey Dahmer series, and I just gave you the part of his childhood. You'd be like, oh yeah, dude, I really feel sorry for that dude. Did you see him, doing what he did to get to jail? I'm not being hyperbolic. A lot of stuff that is normalized in terms of Christianity in the U.S. is considered to be fanatic by European standards. Hmm. Literally got asked, have you been saved here a few times? The very pushy Bible Belt types don't take no for an answer either. But it only happens like once a year. Well, also, Joseph, it depends. I feel like it's more to Joseph and Cass. I feel like it's more dependent on where you stay and how heavy is that community in terms of their views on religion, where you stay at. Because like where I stay at, I've been in this city that I'm living in for 2 years, And I've only had one person ask me to go to their church. Only one. So I really feel like it's dependent on where you stay. When I used to live in predominantly black neighborhoods, yes, I would, we would be asked to go to their church and stuff like that. Or I lived in a more predominant, not predominantly, but more a city with a bigger black population. I'll be asked, hey, what church you go to? So yeah, woo. Besides that, like where I'm staying at now, I really don't get asked that. I've only gotten asked that once, and that was like a month or two ago. So yeah, Matthew 6:5 as well. Beta, see, don't Beta. I hate when non-religious people try to use religious texts to go against certain things. Please, Beta, don't do that. I don't like that because I just feel like you trying to pick a fight at that point. Like I was saying, Beta, as long as you get the perspective, I'm cool. If you disagree with it, I'm cool. I still love you, Beta. I just don't like it when. What channel do we put stuff to react to in the Discord? In the Twitch channel. I just don't like it when people try to use religious texts to go against something when you're not like a believer or something like that. I just personally hate that. It just feels nasty. That's like me reading someone's favorite manga, like, what about this right here? What about this right here? Like, dude, like, come on, bro. So yeah. Got a carrier picture to it. Is he? Oh yeah, you gotta give me the link one by one though. You'll say translate, not this time in Chinese. I'm not doing that on stream. Nope. I don't think that verse isn't really relevant to this convo. The righteousness point in the context is for people preaching that felt like they were superior over others. That's why I was talking. That's why I wanted to bring up the Christian elitists, people that think they're better than you because you're Christian. I obviously don't like that type of mindset for Christians to have because it gives a bad name on Christians for people who've been exposed to them and only them of Christianity. But yeah, that was something I forgot to bring up at that point. Yes, the praying and preaching was specifically against religious leaders who were doing that to essentially flex their superiority or how righteous they were. These are essentially called them out for being fakers and not true believers. See, Beta, that's why I don't like when people bring out of context verses like that. I don't like that. I read the Bibles backwards and forwards as a kid. It was a requirement for me, so that ish was burned into my brain. Growing up, I remember masses saying specifically not to preach publicly. This comes from my religious background growing up, not any views I specifically have now. Yeah, Beta, but I just don't like that. If you don't look, my thing is this: you ain't gotta attack our belief because when people who are not religious try to use religious texts against people who are religious, I just like you're kind of attacking them. I'm just like, not you specifically. Well, I mean, you did it, so but I'm not speaking about you specifically. You're part of the general when you did that, but yeah, this is something that fits the mood right now. All right.
I don't see myself changing my stance on any of these things unless you can show me where in the Bible it says otherwise. And if I'm to continue to be open and honest about these topics, much like Sneeko and Andrew Tate, I would also be putting a target on my back. It's clear that the tolerance for worldviews that don't align with the worldview of the decision makers is decreasing exponentially every year. And as deplatforming becomes a more and more accepted means for quieting dissenting worldviews, speaking out against certain lifestyles, opinions, and the people that push them will become unallowed. So what does that mean? It means I'm done. I'm done criticizing. I'm done condemning. I'm done pointing at the other side and trying to tell them all the ways that they're wrong and they're disobeying God. Why? Because I don't have to get what I want. How do I know that? Because that's not what Jesus would do. Do you think if Jesus was here and on YouTube, he would be pulling up videos of people behaving badly and chastising them and making fun of them? No. He would be focusing on telling you what you should do and who you're commanded to follow. He would tell you to love God and that loving God means obeying him. The only way you can do that is to read your Bible and to know what he expects of us. And if you do that, then God will show you the error in your ways. And I'm not saying that there isn't room for plainly speaking against those behaviors that God hates. There is a time and place to speak unapologetically about those things. But when it's done, it needs to be grounded firmly in Scripture and not done for the sake of tearing other people down, but solely for the sake of saving them from the wrath of a holy and righteous God. And going forward, I will be posting God-focused, Bible-focused, truth-focused content. And if I ever want to address something that I think is too hot for the general public and would be better saved for the ears of people who have already been awoken by God, then I'll put it on my Patreon. Link in the description. I'm not sure where I'll be going from here in terms of content and upload frequency on this channel, but that's the beauty of surrendering your entire life completely to God. I trust that he will guide and direct my steps so that the most important things will always be taken care of.
All right, so today I'm going to be taking
W Young Don. W Young Don. This is one of the videos that I got.
First and foremost, before I get started, I wanted to shout out my Instagram at @TheRealMTR. I shout it out because notification of this particular content that we're about to go over right here came directly from there. So guys, continue to follow your boy and to send me clips all around the internet you guys want me to talk about and or commentate over. All right?
Oh my gosh, Izzy, I just saw what
The
you
topic
what
at
you said.
hand, Sneeko, popular YouTube content creator. I think he's on a host of other platforms as well. Not exactly sure. Was recently.
I'm glad y'all can't hear that, because what the F are they doing upstairs? They're over here acting like a yodel, like, hee-hoo. They're over here doing that on the top of my head. What the F? Anyone who believes in God, go to my Patreon, Spoken Like a True Preacher. Godzilla fan, I feel like, no, see, I don't like that one. Because he was saying that, boom, I'm going to create God-focused content on my channel, but if there's certain things I want to react to, but I want to give my actual take on it from a religious standpoint, and it's not safe for YouTube, you can find it on my Patreon. Therefore, he won't get demonetized or anything like that. I don't feel like that's bad. I mean, that's what I got from it. I don't think he's hiding all of his religious content. Like, he said he's going to turn his channel into a religious, like, into having more religious themed videos. The Bible within itself can be potentially misunderstood in water because translating Hebrew is the hardest language. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about Hebrew being the hardest language. I'm saying I don't know. I'm not saying you're not right, Matt. I'm just saying I don't know. I never. What the F? But yeah. So you can watch it for a few more days, and you watch your video games, and then watch the video chat and chat with your family and your friends on the right hand button. Post it. Wait. I don't get what you're saying, 5 star. So you can watch it for a few days or more, and you watch your video games, and then watch the video chat and chat with your family, your friends. You're on the right hand button to keep you posted and chat on your chat box with friends or family chat, or watch a video chat or something to talk about yourself. I'm sorry, 5 star J. I don't get what you're saying. Dog, what are they doing up there? What the F? Gets updated every so often. Yeah, but I feel like, does it get updated as in like they changed the wording, or it gets updated into a newer version? Because I think the most correct version, I believe, is the King James version. So yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Ousted from YouTube. All right, there it is right there. You can see it right there. He's recently ousted from YouTube, and I wanted to have a conversation about it because I got hit up because I do content in a similar space as Sneeko. It is not the same type of content, and I wanted to get into a little bit of the differences between the two, but then also give you guys exactly why he was kicked off of the platform. And there's a multitude of reasons, but there's one specifically that has to be gone over. Now, I've reacted to a Sneeko video in the past. Had to be about 6 or 7 months ago. It's up on the channel. Feel free to go look at it if you want to see my particular commentary in that video. But I will say, before we get started, I've not had a conversation with Sneeko. I am loosely familiar with his content. Let me just keep it right there for right now. Now, when I was sent his profile, which had the evidence that he was kicked off of the platform, I took a look at said evidence, and it's 2 different posts. He has 2 different channels, one of which he's had for like, I believe since he was a little kid. I want to say over 10 plus years. And the other one's a little bit newer, which was a live stream channel. But you'll see, I'll click on one of them right here. Hi, Sneeko. We have reviewed your content and found it has...
See, this is the scariest thing because they don't even say in here what he got banned for. It just said, oh, you broke the rules. Bye. What rule did I break? Hey, yo.
Repeated violations of community guidelines. Because of this, we remove your channel from YouTube. Now, I'll tell you guys, from my perspective, this email right here is the email of nightmares. Sometimes I wake up in the morning sometimes, and I will see sure that you made the wrong call. You can appeal, yada, yada, yada. I can tell you guys this right now. Him trying to appeal ain't going to do but nothing but a damn thing. Once YouTube decides to do this, especially what it seems to be is creators that are down into the space that are male focused, when they take it out, you're gone, you're gone. But anyway, I got to thinking, what did he do that was so bad that got him kicked off of the platform, right? So I scrolled down a little bit on his page. Right down here, I clicked on this picture. And it said Gary Peters. I'm just like, why is he putting up what looks like a corporate or a presidential photo up on his Instagram that just seems like it's out of form and out of shape, all right? So I clicked on it, and it says official portrait 2018, United States Senator from Michigan. I don't know if you can see that. Boom, it's right there. So I looked over to the right, and it says U.S. Senator and Chair of Homeland Security wants to ban me for dangerous rhetoric. They don't realize how they've proven me right. Freedom of speech is dead. Information is the greatest threat to
Let me make sure it's not my
authority.
girl like knocking at the door or something.
The tide has turned, and Sneeko values the Constitution more than government. To everyone reading this, if I disappear, you know who did it. God is watching me, and we will keep fighting the good fight. Now, I will say after this, I'm like, what? What the hell is going on here? If he's talking about if I disappear, what the hell is Sneeko been saying that apparently I have no idea about, that he thinks is as serious, that not only is he concerned about disappearing, but then also he's got this picture of this, Michigan State senator that is trying to get him canceled. So anyway, this search right here took me to this video. Let's bring this up.
I want to show you something. They played my stream in the Senate. They played my stream in the Senate. They're watching this stream right now. There's government officials watching this. Let me show you. I'm not crazy. They played it in the fucking Senate.
To limit the spread of the hateful, dangerous, and extremist content that has motivated
He said hateful, dangerous, and extremist content that has motivated
real world violence.
real world violence.
Now, at this point in the clip, I'm saying to myself, okay, this looks like, the background looks like he's in some type of Senate judicial judge. That's some real wood back there. Okay, pause. Okay, that's some real mahogany back there. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm saying this, and I'm just like, no, they're not about to pull up a video of Sneeko doing something off the chain and off the wall in the Senate, are they? Pay attention.
It's just Nick Fuentes saying some stuff, and there's Destiny reacting to my panel. That's Nick, Dion, Abba, and me. He said something about the Jewish religion. He said something about Judaism, and I went, huh?
Okay, I'm stopping it right there. So what he said is that this person says something about Judaism, and then Sneeko begins to chant like a Jewish chant in mocking Jewish people and Judaism. And I said to myself, Sneeko, what are you doing? You going overboard, my G. No wonder you got kicked off of the platform. You got to chill, bro. You got to relax. This is too much right here. Guys, let me tell you something. One thing that I've always laid mention to when I talk about the way that I've been able to develop the channel and make sure that I've not had community guidelines infractions is that every single video that I do, although I will admit I will toe the line, I try to come in as professionally as I possibly can because words matter. And I understand that. So I go through great lengths to curtail my words or use euphemisms in order to still communicate while adhering to YouTube policies. Now, there's a load of people that's on the channel that think that my content is soft, right? And I'm just like, me and my personal life talking about this same ish is a lot different than me on YouTube talking about this same ish.
This is facts. This is facts. Y'all know we can't say the real on here. Y'all know we can't talk how we really talk on here.
But in order to continue forward as a business entity, I have to deal within the confines of the YouTube policy. And I know that the policies around bullying, around harassment, people that are considered minorities or subjugated against is a huge no-no on the platform. And not only did he do that on his platform, but then that snippet got taken out and put up to a Senate hearing. It is my humble YouTube opinion that his video getting brought up to the Senate room floor is exactly what led to his channel getting popped. So I end up finding the exact stream. Let me get this on a stream real quick so you guys can see this. I end up finding the exact stream that this came to. And you'll see it right here. Watch live. Senate committee hearing on...
That's crazy. Social media's impact on Homeland Security? No, that's insane. This is insane. I mean, I don't get into this type of content at all. That's why I'm trying to see. Because if you guys don't know, whenever you do a YouTube video, before you can monetize it and before you can make it acceptable to like advertisements and stuff like that, like commercials and all that and ads, you have to fill out, like, you don't have to fill out like, oh, I gotta hit the, I mean, you kind of do that. But I mean, all the people who are monetizing here can even speak for it. You have to go through this guideline of like, does your content talk about this? Does this video talk about this, that, like triggering moments or sexual content or religious content, violent acts, group, it goes over all that stuff. So that's why like when I'm talking about certain Nasty Man manga, this is one of the things that he was kind of talking about, kind of like coding. For some things, I have to say certain words so it doesn't trigger the YouTube algorithm, because at one point, if you said the thing that we had a few years ago, I don't know if you can still say it now, but if you talk about the things that we went into hiding in our houses for, that would trigger the YouTube algorithm and your video would get like demonetized or get limited to adding. I remember when I was making Funko Pop content and I did something like that, my video got like limited added. Like it got not demonetized all the way, but I wasn't able to really run ads on it because it was like, oh, you're talking about this subject right here. It didn't matter what you was talking about the subject, whether you was educating, joking about it. If you said that word, if you say certain words, the YouTube algorithm will pick it up and they'll limit your video for advertising automatically. So that's why sometimes, like, when I'm talking about Nasty Man manga and I say the word mauling, you know what I'm saying? When a character forces themselves upon another character, mauling is because I don't want to get like demonetized. You know what I'm saying? So that's like one of the coded words I use. And I usually give context of what I'm talking about by saying it like that. That way people could get what I'm saying instead of just saying it and then just running past it. So yeah. What I said was dry, man. Not really saying it's inherently bad that those changes happen. Rules surrounding divorce being lucid is probably a good move. What? Well, the Bible we have now got changed over time. Parts taken out, passages altered. So there's a reason the most common one now is called the King James Bible. Man needed to get things changed to suit what he wanted. Even who the Pope was politically motivated with the candidates being found from specific countries. This is always used for the greater good. We know that. This is facts. Sage for 2024, I would love to be president. Yep, I got my partnership monetization around 10 years ago, and we still had all those same rules and agreements back then. Not to mention 2 updates to those terms that come every year. Yeah, it's about the translating from Hebrew bit. That's largely irrelevant given the number of omissions and edits revisions since. I ain't had the yet. I swear to God, if I get it when I go to the US, I mean, I haven't gotten it yet either, Cass, or at least I haven't knowingly got it.
Social media's impact on Homeland Security. And guys, I scrubbed through this video a little bit. It's 7.5 hours. 7.5 hours that they met and they talked about this. Not only did they get members of Congress to come up and talk about the importance of regulating speech on these social media streets, but they also got some of the chiefs and the heads of these social media platforms. As I scrub a little bit further, this guy right here
3 times, Isaac? That's crazy. You know the power of religious holes in there in politics. Facts. 3 times is insane, Isaac. I gotta know what you was doing them 3 times.
The head of product at YouTube. I believe that the person right after this lady right here is the head of product at TikTok. I'll leave a link to this video down in the description box down below if you guys want to go through and listen to it. I didn't listen to a whole bunch of it, but I listened to it enough in order to come up with this conclusion. This video was streamed live on September 4th, 2022. You know what else has been happening since this was streamed? The views on my content, the views on my channel have decreased dramatically, around 30 to 40%. So, which leads me to conclude.
I will admit too, and it might be because, I don't know if it's because he's making man-centric content or if it's because he's a man, but I've seen Prom talk about this on YouTube as well. How like the subscriber count has gone down. Like my subscriber count has gone down. My monetization has gone down. A lot of the stuff on my channel has gone down. Like it dipped like last month. Yeah, last month was September. Yeah, because August it was teetering, but then September it just dipped. I'm like, oh my lord.
Conclude that there is currently a crackdown in this entire sphere of men's content. Everybody should be on watch. Everybody should be on notice. Everyone should be very, very aware because it has reached the goddamn Senate. So where does this leave everything right now? You know, RIP to Sneako's channel. You know, you never want to see someone lose a form of income because they are stressed.
That's crazy. No, that's crazy. I'm trying to see if there was a video. This
Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts because today we are taking...
Saying that YouTube should ban, making a whole video of why YouTube should ban someone is insane. I gotta know if any of y'all do that. I gotta know if any of you guys agree with people who do this. Hey, ban this person. That's such a funny concept to me. Oh my gosh. I work in a hospital, to be fair. Oh, okay. That makes perfect sense, Isaac. That makes perfect sense. Also, W essential worker, man. W essential worker. Even though y'all state and church is separated technically, it's more intertwined than any other country I know of in the Western world. Fortunately, it's like how people swear on the Bible before court. Senate hearings could last all day. Also, have to note that your Bill of Rights is supposed to be a contract between citizens and government, nothing private. Even then, freedom of speech isn't complete freedom. There are quite a few carved out exceptions, but people don't pay attention in government class. See the thing, Joseph, people either don't pay attention or they don't actually teach us everything in government class. You can't always just blame it on the children. You gotta also blame it on the actual scholastic system. Because if we're not taught it, then how are we gonna know? Obviously, we could go look it up ourselves, but who's gonna look that type of stuff up unless you're really into the political side of the world? But not many folks know you don't have to swear on the Bible. See, I never knew that, Matt, but also I don't plan to go to court, so I was hoping I didn't know that. You can swear on a dang comic book. Sage should be banned for how nasty he is. Oh, that's crazy. I'm gonna make a video titled "YouTube needs to ban Chucks." Oh, that's crazy, Isaac. That's crazy. After I just gave you a W, I just gave you some cheers. That's crazy. You're making me want to move. I'm gonna swear on which is itemized before after ending the country. Oh no, that's crazy. Come here, beta. I'll take you to court. Chase, be prepared. Oh no, that's insane.
A quick drive through some YouTube drama. I am so excited. Normally, I don't talk about like other YouTube drama that doesn't pertain to me, but in this situation, it was just too funny that I had to talk about it. Usually, I just make silly little videos where I troll / make fun of people, but this is some real stuff here, folks, so get ready. But before we get into what happened, let's meet both our fighters. On the left corner of the ring, we have Nick is not green. Now, you may remember this guy from a couple months ago when he made a video where he said really nice things about me.
I'm no expert on human psychology.
I feel almost bad. Like, is he okay? He sits there and talks like someone's behind the camera at gunpoint telling him what to say.
And Nick, if you're watching this, I just wanted to say thank you again for making that video. I got so many views, likes, and subscribers and support from that whole situation. So it really helped me out. Thank you for making that video. Nick is basically...
Guys want to claim the U.S. in the name of Denmark swearing on Hamas. Why someone to swear on the Bible is forcing religion, which America preaches they don't do. It will be counterintuitive. I had a friend who could be your lawyer for the suit. Take him for everything he's worth. Like they legal groundwork for the freedom is there. But societal and culturally, you better swear on that Bible or you're going to heck. No, that boy Nick is busted.
You know, your average run-of-the-mill, semi-political commentary YouTuber. You can find about 200 of them if you look hard enough. They're all carbon copies who say exactly what they know their audience wants to hear. So pretty basic. And then on the other end, we have Sneako. Sneako has been blowing up in the last couple of months, you know, after this whole Andrew Tate male pride explosion or whatever. You know, after Andrew Tate got banned, everybody's saying he's like the second coming. And me personally, I think he's crazy. A lot of things he says is stupid and out of pocket, but you know, obviously it's one of those things where he drops some sort of good information here and then he blows up because of the stupid things he said, and it's just a constant funnel stupidity. So we have two losers here on complete different ends of the spectrum, and yeah, let's see what happened to make these two not like each other. So I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of the exact beginning of this drama because it involves a subject matter that is not entirely
doesn't have to be the Bible
enthused
if it
by
goes against
YouTube's
your
terms of service. So I'm just going to put it very broadly, and you can watch Nick's video if you want to get into the details. But basically, Sneeko was streaming, and he said some very...
So what if you don't conform to anything? If you swear, like, what if you're an atheist? What are you swearing to? Do you even swear? Like, why?
Out of pocket, rude, dumb things about another streamer. He said some very, you might say, insulting, rude things.
I just realized I'm stuck in my room for the next 12 hours. Like your nerd room or like your actual bedroom? We got a masseur service for the workers all day, and they're right outside my room. Wait, we got a masseur service for the workers all day, and they're right outside my room. Wait, I don't get it, Cass. No, it doesn't have to be a religious text, I believe. I could be wrong. All right, let me just snap some sneak pics of these folks getting massaged. Hey, yo! On your mama. Oh, no, that's crazy. That's crazy, Isaac. What up, Triple X Loaded? The Constitution? Also, why would they make the atheist less believable? A Christian could just as easily lie and cheat. Joseph... Stop trying to be Mr. Semantics. You knew what I was trying to go at with that. I'm just saying, like, you know, for someone who believes in Christianity and you're supposed to be praising God and swearing to God, I'm saying if you don't have like a religious figure like that to swear to, what are you swearing on? Like, you get what I'm saying? It was a joke. it was a joke. Dang, Joseph, it was a joke.
Damn. About someone else, and Nick took it completely out of context and blew it up and made a video saying that YouTube should ban Sneeko. It was a quick 3-minute video where basically Nick shows the clip and then says it was something it wasn't, and that Sneeko deserved to be banned from that. So, you know, this is pretty commonplace in YouTube. You know, someone says something, then someone else says you shouldn't have said that. You know, that's common. That's everywhere on this website. But here is where this whole situation becomes hilarious. At the end of Nick's video, Nick says this.
Like, this definitely does not belong on their platform. If you watch this video and you also believe that Sneeko should be banned from YouTube, you can go to his channel pages, click about, and then click the flag icon on the right side of the page and report the user.
And yeah, all it takes is one Google search and you'll see that telling your viewers to mass report someone else is against YouTube's terms of service. So basically, in making a video trying to get someone else banned from YouTube, Nick did something that could get him banned from YouTube. I have never...
From YouTube. From YouTube. From YouTube.
Get him banned from YouTube. I have never seen something to that level of stupidity. You know, any social media you go on, you can find Nick's pronouns in his bio, but what you can't find are his adjectives: stupid and dumb. Now,
hey, yo. Oh my Lord. Oh man. No, he said what you can't find is his adjectives.
let me reiterate, I don't like either of these people. Sneeko, on one hand, says stupid things to get a reaction and basically get people talking about him kind of in the same way that Andrew Tate did. And on the other hand, you have Nick, who says exactly...
It's just funny how, like, Andrew Tate is now this huge figure to a whole bunch of people, when a whole bunch of people in the red space community or red pill community have been talking like Andrew Tate for so long. I guess it's just certain things he say is very, like, out there compared to them. So I guess maybe his coding or his language was very off, but a lot of the stuff that he says in the red pill community, which is why a lot of the red pill community accept Andrew, they obviously a lot of them don't 100% agree with each of each other, but a lot of the things that he talks about isn't like really far fetched if you've been in the red pill community. So it's very odd to see him being the figurehead when I've known of him the least out of all the people that are in the red pill community.
What his audience wants to hear 24/7, has no original personality. You can find hundreds of carbon copies of him around YouTube. Basically, they're both losers, but you have a loser who's too loud and a loser who's too quiet. And the real parallelism of losers here is really on display. And as far as Sneako goes, do I think he's going to get banned? I don't think he's going to get banned for this in particular because, again...
Sad to say, that boy Sneako got banned. That's sad to say. Man. But it's kind of crazy how OP deplatforming someone is, like Andrew Tate on the verge of irrelevancy. Yeah, but I guess one of the good things about that for him in his situation was that his main money wasn't on YouTube. Like, he wasn't making money. Like, his main source of income wasn't for YouTube. He was literally doing YouTube for fun. Like, and he was cool. And he's not too irrelevant, Sam, only because, like, you know, the Fresh and Fit podcast, they recently had him on. They recently went to Romania and they was doing like a emergency meeting. They done plenty of streams with him. So yeah, he's being less searched, but I feel like his effect or his message is really like, but I also feel so his message is really spread and it's really sitting with some people now, especially with a lot of the content. You can only find clips because there's not really whole pieces of content with him like that on the internet anymore. But I will say that dang, what was I about to say? I don't know. His main money was from his pyramid scheme. Hustle's University? Nah, because that means that his YouTube would have had to been big if people were to go into his Hustle's University. And people were saying his Hustle's University was a Discord. So in order for him to really promote that Discord to a high level, would have to have been from YouTube. So yeah, I mean, he's already talked about how he's made his money. I listened to Young Don react to a life story of Andrew Tate or whatever. So I was like, all right, that boy just got bread. He's literally doing this just to do this. So yeah, I wish I had his bread.